everyone, this is Sarit. Welcome back to another episode with True or False. This video will share a psychological trap that could undermine your decision-making ability. I will use Russia's attack on Ukraine as a case study. Though this subject is much more complicated, learning lessons from these conflicts require an integrated approach. However, my interest is to drill down on a particular aspect and glean some take-home lessons on power decisions. Towards the end, I will give you some specific ways to guard against this psychological trap to make better decisions. Let's kick it off with a quote. The problem is we don't see what we don't want to see. On February 24th, Russia declared war on Ukraine. Russia's attack on Ukraine has turned even people not interested into world politics to follow the news, and I'm no exception. I watch the news with interest, anger, sadness, and fear. So many people are forced to make decisions about their survival and future. I'm fascinated by how humans think and decide. Decision making is so complicated that we don't understand how we make decisions. Enough research has been done on this topic, yet it seems pretty elusive or fuzzy. Making decisions is one of the most challenging and riskiest jobs. When I look at the painful situation through a decision-making lens, I feel that Ukraine and NATO alliance were trapped in what is called, in decision-making language, as confirming evidence trap. That is, seeing what you want to see. We seek out information that supports our existing point of view. The confirming evidence trap tricks our brain into interpreting the evidence we receive, leading us to give too much weight to the supporting information and too little to conflicting information. Let's analyze how the key decision makers fell into this psychological trap. The problem is they did not see what they did not want to see. In the months leading up to the war, the potential activities around the Ukrainian border were hard to miss. UK and USA raised the alarm with hard evidence. It was all there in plain sight, and yet all the key players refused to consider the possibility that Russia would attack. Key decision makers didn't want to believe the hard evidence. So many nations at the helm of affairs decided that Russia would never do such a thing. However, Russia has learned that war does pay. But everyone argued that Russia would never wage a war. It's totally irrational. Everyone, including top companies, fell into the trap of confirming evidence to see what they wanted to see. If decision makers were not victims of this trap, perhaps the West would have prepared Ukraine differently and not scrambling to provide arms and ammunition. There is no doubt that Western approach has been pretty embarrassing, and Ukraine has become the sacrificial lamb. I will not focus on politics and keep my lens on decision making. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you feel inspired. What could have been done differently? One of the most critical tools in decision making strategy is using scenarios, especially those that you anticipate won't happen, but it would be devastating if they happened. I wish the key players had prepared for what-if scenarios. What if Russia invades? Then what? How do we support Ukraine to survive the onslaught? What I see on the TV clearly shows that such kind of scenario planning was never done. Why? I don't know. There is politics, but I'm not going there. But there was enough reason to consider and prepare for a scenario in which Russia attacked Ukraine. In the present circumstances, Russia is pounding Ukraine. Unfortunately, when you are in a confirming evidence trap, you often ignore the scenario building exercise and only see what is desirable. I like to repeat, you only see what is desirable and you ignore what is possible. In the current crisis, this is precisely what has happened. They ignored all the hard facts and did not prepare for scenario building exercises. Otherwise, we would not have seen Ukraine in such a helpless situation. As the fight continues, decisions will become more and more difficult. Several scenarios are still worth considering and making appropriate preparations. Suppose decision makers continue to move from one type of confirming evidence to another, as Putin can never use nukes or chemical weapons. In that case, you will see similar and more distressing outcomes. Hopes and desires become blinders that push you into the trap. Hopes and desires become barriers to making better decisions. When you decide to react to an action, your choices are always limited. Putin made all his decisions proactively, whether good or bad, and the rest of the world is making decisions reactively. What will happen now? No one knows. Will Russia conquer all? Will it be the story of David and Goliath? Or the story of David and Goliath will be rewritten? How will the humanitarian crisis end? The new landscape will see relative gains over absolute gains, as the sanctions inflict losses on the target and the originator. There is no more vast landscape where there would be a win-win situation. We all would be paying more at the pump and the grocery stores. So what is the take-home lesson? There are 4 key takeaways. Number 1, be aware that you can easily fall into confirming evidence trap. The brain tricks you so seamlessly that you won't even realize that you have fallen into this psychological trap. At that time, 2 forces work on you. The first is your tendency to see what you want to see. And second is you subconsciously decide what you wish to do without knowing why you want to do it. Number 2, ask yourself honestly, are you gathering information to make an unbiased smart choice, or are you just looking for evidence to confirm what you like to do? Make sure you examine all the conflicting evidence with equal enthusiasm and don't get soft on the disconfirming evidence. Scenario planning is an excellent activity to offset your confirming evidence tendency. Don't ask leading questions that cement your confirming evidence when seeking advice. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Remember, the best defense is awareness. I hope you got something useful from this video. What's your favorite big idea? What landed well with you and what resonated with you? What can you do to apply this knowledge in your life? If you found value in this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now. Have an awesome day.